So at the New York Comic Con, Hasbro revealed the fact that they're issuing an Arctic HISS tank. An Arctic HISS tank, which is basically a scaled down version of the Haslab HISS tank. So it's not going to have a lot of the extra bells and whistles that came with that. And I have some mixed feelings about this thing. But on the positive side, I'm really happy for people who didn't have an opportunity to get their HISS tank back when the Haslab was funding. For those people, this is awesome. For people who got the Snowcat, who backed the Snowcat and want to have this as part of an Arctic set, this is awesome. And people who just couldn't afford the HISS tank at the time or whatever reason. I personally know a couple of guys. One guy was going through some financial problems and he couldn't back the HISS tank, the original HISS tank. Another guy was going through a pretty rough separation and divorce, so he couldn't back the HISS tank either. He had to save his money, and I get that. And this is awesome for them. This is awesome for people who just maybe want an extra HISS tank that couldn't afford to buy multiple HISS tanks and everything like that. This is cool in that respect. It's pretty awesome, right? But on the flip side, I gotta admit, I'm hating.
Oh, I've got a better idea. Why don't you go across the street and buy some condoms? Because we should at least be safe if you're gonna fuck me.
I'm straight up. Now, okay, I'm hating this. On the flip side. Now, I know this is going to be a little bit of a turbulent landing, but let me land this plane for a second. You'll see where I'm going for a second. See, when I backed the HISS tank, my thought really was that this was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. This was a once-in-a-lifetime collectible for adults. Gotta jump in, gotta act now, or you'll miss this opportunity. That's what I thought when I backed this thing. Little did I know, 5 years later, just like 5 years later, we would literally be dealing with the HISS tank used car lot. What kind of nonsense is this? Okay, here's my thing. If y'all have the ability to customize the HISS tank like this and let us pick a la carte versions of the HISS tank, if we had the ability to vote on the colors or pick the colors we wanted, like we're buying a car or something like that, like a new car, right? Why would we literally have the ability to vote on the color of one of the figures? Why not just give us the ability to pick what colors we want for the HISS tank? Because honestly, outside of the TV media, I really, deep down inside, wanted the crimson HISS tank. I wanted the red one because that was the HISS tank I liked. I liked the red version. I thought that was cool, and I would love to have had a red version of this. But unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity, so I jumped in on the black one. And I was like, oh man, look at this. This is awesome. This is great. But if I'd have known just a few years later they were going to redo this in a different color, why not let me pick my color? Damn. And then on top of that, this nullifies the sort of FOMO power of the Haslabs, because what's to say they're not going to do a Tiger Force Dragonfly? What's to say they're not going to do a Crimson Rattler or Python Patrol Rattler? I mean, you literally opening the doors here to a whole lot of nullification of your Haslabs. Like, you're basically cannibalizing Haslabs, because I mean, why not redo Galactus in more super tuned colors, right? Why not just redo the Sentinel and make it the gray and blue version for the Haslab? Why not recolor Unicron and redo that? Why would we as a community as a collecting community, back a Haslab when we know that they're going to do a scaled down version a handful of years down the road?
Mom, Eric? You might as well go buy some cigarettes too, because I like to have a smoke after I get good and fucked.
Right? Am I the only one seeing that? Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm out of sorts. But I just look at that and I just say, it's like Apple with the Mac versus the iPad. Like, the iPad literally runs the same type of chips as the Mac, and it basically can do more stuff than the Mac. It's just that the software is cannibalizing the other thing. They restrict it with software. But if they didn't and they ran the same exact stuff, the iPad would be a better option than the Mac, right? So look at this. If we know that they're going to eventually just put out these vehicles in scaled down versions in different colors, why are we back in a Haslab again? What are we waiting for? If they're just going to reuse the molds anyway, what are we waiting for? Sure, it's good business. I get that part. It's good business. But why am I paying premium when I can just wait and pay less for pretty much the same premium, right? I don't think the plastic's going to be any less. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference outside of some of the decals and stuff like that, a couple of the cannons and stuff. I mean, do you really need the lights and everything? Right? Am I the only one that's thinking about it this way? I don't know. Maybe some people are just like, whatever, Prime, you need to lay off the whiskey or something like that. I'm just feeling some kind of way.
Well, then could we at least pull up here and get some dinner? Because I like to be wined and dined after I've been fucked.
And yeah, it just kind of irks me because I knew they were going to do this. And I was just like, why didn't they just do it to begin with? Just let me pick what I want. And then, you can reissue them down the road. I'll have my Crimson HISS tank. Some people would have their Arctic HISS tank. Some people would go with the original black or the blue. People would have what they really, really want and not have to sit around and wait for these guys to 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the road reissue the damn thing. And again, they're cannibalizing Haslab when they do stuff like this, because they're thinking about short-term profit over long-term satisfaction of customers. Because I don't feel like depending on how these things turn out, I may not feel like I got the best deal on this. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I crazy? Am I just a little mentally unwell? I need to lay off the whiskey. Right? Is that it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, with that, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And with that, be safe, be good. And it's the Drunken Prime cracking open another beer and signing off.